simply, it's basically using the news to draw attention to your own brand. There's a lot more details in what that means, but that is at a high level what trend jacking is. One of the godfathers, if not the godfather of trend jacking, his name is Paul Marr, and I'm going to mince his words here, but he basically says, you know, news is happening no matter what, you might as well use it to bring attention to your brand. The very first thing, you know, I always tell our customers is to understand, and this might sound so basic, but to really make sure you have a firm understanding of your company's why. Like, why does your product exist? What problems does your brand help solve? And the reason you need to do that is because it's really important to attach yourself to stories that make sense. So it's important that you understand, you know, where your brand makes sense to actually attach to the news. So that's stage one, understanding your why, what problems you're there to solve. The next step is then to just start monitoring the news. So there's, you know, obviously with Meltwater, we help our clients do that. You can set up keywords in our platform where, you know, once you understand your why and different issues that you want to be, or not even issues, but any type of story you'd want to be associated with, then what happens is when those stories do bubble up across social or whatever medium, you'll get an alert. Now, for brands that, you know, don't have budget for these types of tools, you could even do something simple like a Google alert. It's not quite as clean, but, you know, it'll help you get the job done. Next, you want to basically just, once those alerts are coming in, you have to choose really selectively. Again, this kind of goes back to that first point, and that's because you want to make sure that the issue or the trend really kind of suits your brand. You never want to associate your brand with something that is like really bad news or sad news or anything like that. You would want to pick your story selectively so that it's either quite clever or it's going to be something positive. With Meltwater, we're very lucky because our brand, what we solve, is helping to make sense of big data. And so we have the luxury of being able to choose a lot of different stories because anything around big data is what we do. So you want to just find that story that makes sense for your brand though. And then the next step is just to craft the content. What we like to do is you have to be quick. You have to catch that trend kind of at the beginning. So I would certainly recommend to have kind of like templates ready. And I'm happy to share, you know, what we do with your viewers afterwards as well. We've got like lots of little templates and stuff where then all you have to do is just like quickly plug in your copy, plug in your images, and then you can use it to amplify across your social channels. And that is the next step. So craft that content, use templates, and then use that to amplify across your social channels, and then just measure your results after. I think, you know, the benefits of trend jacking is it should kind of roll into your overall content marketing strategy. We know that at Meltwater, you know, our long-term best performing piece of content will absolutely be something like Media Monitoring 101 for sure. But what trend jacking helps is those moments in time where you have that trend, it drives fresh eyeballs to your site. So our best performing piece of content long-term might be Media Monitoring 101, but the most eyeballs that came to our site was based off of the night Game of Thrones ended. We jumped on that trend and we created a piece of content, and that was the best performing content that we've ever had in a single day. So it's about kind of finding that marriage between a long-term content marketing strategy and then folding under some trend jacking with it to get those fresh eyeballs. I mean, one of my favorite examples, and it's very recent, I'm sure all of you have seen that video of that guy that used the Fleetwood Mac song, and he was kind of skateboarding down the highway. And do you know what I'm talking about, Mital? Did you see that video? Oh man, I'll send it to you. It's amazing. But it's just this ordinary guy on his skateboard, and he's just like having the best moment in life, it feels like. And he's playing a Fleetwood Mac song in the background, and he just like randomly also has this like Ocean Spray cranberry juice, like a big jug of it.
Mm.
and he takes a sip of it while on a skateboard. It looks like he's on a highway or something. It's kind of disorienting, to be honest, because it's very random. But then he starts lip syncing to Fleetwood Mac at the same moment. It's on TikTok. It's very short. But Ocean Spray they had a new CEO, and he grabbed on that very quickly. So he did his own version of that TikTok video, and then they actually were able to, organize their stakeholders so quickly that they even bought this guy a truck because apparently he was living in a trailer. And so, I mean, that's my most recent example that I just love. And I mean, there's a lot of
Got
things
it.
that came into play. They had to be very quick. They had to make sure that all of those barriers with like legal and stuff are already kind of ironed out. But it was an amazing use. And I think Ocean Spray had something crazy. I don't know the stats myself, but the number of new viewers and their stats are crazy. So it's something I'll definitely send you after this, so you can check it out yourself. Monitor the news, one. Choose those stories selectively. Maybe make sure that they match your company's why and the solutions that you provide the market. Make this story your own. So you have to progress the story. It can't just be you posting about something. You really have to make your own narrative built into it. Obviously, craft the content. I highly suggest making sure you have templates in place so you can act fast, and then amplify across your social channels, measure success. That's really the framework we would that we use in Meltwater to get those fresh eyeballs to our site.